everyone, welcome back to Homestead Corner. Today I have got 7 more pantry meal ideas. Stuff you can just grab from the pantry, toss it together, make a great meal. So today I have 7 more pantry meal ideas to help you rotate that food in your pantry. It's really important to keep it rotated. And yes, we love to eat fresh food, but I think it is a great idea to have at least 1 or 2 pantry meals a week. That way you're in good practice of cooking them in an emergency. And when that's all you have to fall back on, you want to have some great ideas to make quick, easy meals, because there's so much work to do in an emergency. It really extends the workload. So today, let's get started with a breakfast idea. I like a chia pudding. You can take 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, put them in a bowl with a cup of milk, and let it sit for like an hour or so. Just cover it over, toss it in the fridge. And then you can add honey, vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, anything you like. And the milk and in the chia seeds makes like a pudding. It makes it really thick when it sits for a couple hours. And then just adding a little bit of fruit to it is wonderful. If you have got dried raisins, anything like that, cinnamon and raisin is really good. You can mix it up a ton of different ways. Bananas, strawberries, any of those freeze-dried fruits or dried fruits are going to work great. And also any fresh fruits you have, if you happen to have any on hand, toss them in there. They're delicious. Mixing it up with like blueberries and bananas is also another great combination. And you can do this, and it's simple, quick. It doesn't really take that much time. Just a few seconds to throw it together, run off and do whatever you have to do, and then come back and it's ready to eat, which is wonderful. I love simple breakfast ideas. I don't like slaving in the kitchen for breakfast. Number 2 is a simple lentil soup. Lentil soups are super easy to make. I would use a couple cans of chicken broth or whatever broth you have, vegetable broth. If you don't have broth, bouillon works wonderfully too. You can just make up a quart of it and throw in some lentils in there, a cup of lentils. They do expand a little bit, but they don't get gigantic. You're going to want a lot of the extra juices to make a good lengthy soup. And then 2 kinds of vegetables, peas and corn work great together. Peas and carrots work great together. Corn and carrots, whatever it is that you like, definitely just 2 cans, and throw those juices right in there. It helps flavor and with nutrients and things like that. And then I like to toss in a little quinoa or rice, or you could do barley, whatever you have on hand. Toss that in there. It just beefs it up a little bit more, and then mix up those spices, and you can have this a couple different ways. You could add curry to this. It would be a great curried soup. You can, do a chili type thing, or you could go more savory with sage and herbs, things like that. But you could definitely mix this up and make a ton of different lentil soups with it. Number 3 is Spam, eggs, and taters. It's simple, it's easy, but it's really a great meal. We like to slice our Spam up really thin so it gets nice and crispy in the pan, and a couple of eggs with it. And canned potatoes, I think, make the best home fries ever. Just, add your onions and garlic, fry them up, and they are just so delicious and yummy. We really love canned potatoes for home fries, and this could be a breakfast meal, but we eat it for dinner sometimes. It's just one of those things that can go either way. Add some eggs to it. Number 4, just simple and easy. This is just like scallop potatoes. These are 3 cheese potatoes. The directions are on there. Add milk and butter, toss it in the oven. It is super good. And then we like to cut up our hams. We use about half a ham for a meal usually. These are a pound, depending on how many you're cooking for. This will last in the fridge for quite a few days after you open it, so you could just cut off how much you need. And again, like the Spam, we like to crisp this up in the frying pan first. Those little black crispy edges just add a lot of flavor to it. So that is another super simple meal. We will fry this up, get this put together, get the oven warmed up, and just toss the meat right inside. You could add a vegetable to it or put a veggie on the side. A nice salad goes really good with it if you have that. But again, whatever you have, and you can add a little bit more spices to it to change it up a little bit, which is wonderful. Number 5 is a cream of chicken soup. Again, super simple. I've got a can of chicken, cream of chicken soup, can of chicken broth, carrots, peas, and some mushrooms. You can mix these veggies up with whatever you like. You could make it different every single time. We like to add, different seasoning to it. I love rosemary and thyme, sage, whatever we have. You can definitely mix that up. And when I make my soups, I'm going to add all of my broths from all of the cans. All the liquid from the carrots, peas, mushrooms. It adds that nutrients and adds flavor to your meals. And this makes a nice creamy soup. If it is too thin, you could use some mashed potatoes to thicken it up. You could, put some refried beans in there. There's a whole bunch of things you can do to thicken it a little bit. You could add, reduce a little bit of the broth, just play with it and get it just how you like it. Number 6 is a simple tuna casserole. It's really easy to make. I use usually 2 cans of tuna. We have a larger family, but depending on your size, you can definitely make this bigger or smaller. And a can of cream of mushroom soup, can of corn, some egg noodles. I just boil the egg noodles up and then mix everything together in the pot. And you can add cheese to this if you have it, or different seasonings, change up those seasonings definitely to make different meals. And if you don't have cheese, we top with breadcrumbs sometimes. They're really inexpensive. You can make them out of your old bread, and it's a super simple meal. Bake it up till it's bubbly. And number 7 is a chicken pasta pesto. Really simple and easy, just a can of chicken. I would use the broth when you boil your noodles. It will help add flavor to your noodles, definitely. And then mix in some pesto. You can add some fresh tomatoes or something like that. Whatever you have, you can really mix these meals up. And remember, experimenting is probably the best thing you can do. You are going to find combinations of foods that you really love by just mixing things up. And keeping that pantry rotated is so important. And that's it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.